Welcome back. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. Take it or leave it podcast. And we're going to get going now with Kyrie Irving. We handled and spoke on Kanye West. Now we're going to speak on Kyrie Irving, which is similar but very different. All right. Now, Kyrie Irving, the situation is very different because Kyrie Irving never really made a comment or a statement or went on a rant. All right. He tweeted out a link, okay, to a movie that was deemed as anti-Semitic. Um, and then when he did that, all right, they asked him to apologize and to say that he was not anti-Semitic, and immediately he did not do that. All right. So the link he posted, all right, let's see here, promotion of anti-Semitic film. I guess this film was on Amazon, right? And let's see here. I'm going to get into this article. The Brooklyn Nets condemn Kyrie Irving's promotion of anti-Semitic film. Right? Brooklyn guard Kyrie Irving said Saturday that he believes in all religions 2 days after he appeared to show support to an anti-Semitic film. The NBA, meanwhile, waded into the matter by condemning hate speech in a statement, but did not mention Irving by name or make any direct references to his latest controversial storyline. I am an omnist, and I meant no disrespect to anyone's religious beliefs, read a tweet posted to Irvin's account. The anti Semitic label that is being pushed on me is not justified and does not reflect the reality or truth I live in every day. I embrace and want to learn from all walks of life. So now it says, Nets owner Joe Shai said Friday he is disappointed that Irvin appears to support a film based on a book full of anti-Semitic disinformation. The Nets star guard posted a link for the film Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America on Twitter to Thursday. The synopsis on Amazon said the film uncovers the true identity of the children of Israel. Now, here's the thing that we're going to talk about on this. Mostly what everyone is has an issue with is they say this thing freedom of speech, right? They're saying Kyrie is not being allowed his freedom of speech. Okay. So that number one is false. Kyrie Irving can say what he wants. He's not being put in jail for saying that. He's not being physically attacked. I mean, he could be by someone of the Jewish community, but the government is government isn't punishing him for saying that. You have freedom of speech, but freedom of speech does not mean that you are free of consequences. And what I mean by consequences is what I think a lot of people keep forgetting, right? A lot of people keep forgetting that Kyrie Irving works for the NBA. I know you people may not think of it as that. And you may think of, oh, the NBA works for him. The NBA needs him. The NBA exploits him. Well, they kind of go hand in hand. because Kyrie Irving makes a living by playing basketball. If he just wanted to just play basketball and not make a living doing it, he would have left out of college after playing 4 years of basketball and did something else. He could have played in college and not get paid for it, and then went and did something else. But Kyrie Irving went to the NBA where they employ basketball players. If you go to a job, right? If you work at the cable company, they employ people to call customers, to service customers, to get the balance for customers, to service their customers. That's what they hire you for. Or if you're a technician, they employ you to hook up cable or to find technical issues that's wrong with their cable. So it's no different. Kyrie Irving has a job. He works for the NBA. All right, let's keep that in mind. Like every job, when you sit down to sign your contract or to sign your hire papers or whatever you have to sign when you first get a job, there are certain codes of conduct and rules or regulations that you read off before you put your signature to that paper that says we're going to pay you such and such amount. You read that code of conduct beforehand. Any codes of conduct that changes within then, because the code of conduct can change, certain things can be added and subtracted. But the code of conduct from your job pretty much is never going to really be anything taken away. If anything, to be more stuff added. So Kyrie Irving broke the code of conduct for his employee. For people who saying it's a black thing, not true. Not true. Because there was a white basketball player, granted, not a star, but he was an NBA basketball player. He was famous and he was getting paid to play basketball. A few years ago, made an anti Semitic statement or mumbled an anti Semitic slur. He's no longer in the league. He apologized. He's white. He's no longer in the league. And when people say, yeah, but he wasn't a big star like Kyrie Irving, well, all of the other big stars that are white, there's not many of them in the league, but all of the other big stars that are white, they didn't make the statement or tweet out a link that Kyrie tweeted out. Now, we all know, at least the smart people do, that because of this going on with Kanye West, and because Kyrie Irving supports what Kanye West said, that is the reason why he went looking for this film. That's the reason why he tweeted this out there as a support of Kanye's telling the truth. So no one said Kyrie Irving can't believe that we're the first Jews. Like I said in my previous, I believe the same thing, right? I believe the same thing. I believe that the black man was the first man, the original man. I believe all those things. But I also know that maybe because if I worked for the NBA, if I'm Kyrie Irving and I worked for the NBA or worked for anywhere, now just fortunate for me, I don't work for anybody. But if I did, I have in the past. So if I know that in the code of conduct it says I can't say or promote certain things, why would I do it? Why would I do it? Just to say, well, there's freedom of speech. I should be able to say and do what I want. That's not the way it works when you have a job and you work for someone. You signed that contract that said you're going to abide by this code of conduct and by these rules and regulations. And if you do that, we will pay you. And Kyrie's situation, $37 million a year to play basketball and abide by the code of conduct and the rules and regulations of the Brooklyn Nets. Then Nike came in and said, since you're employed in playing basketball for the Brooklyn Nets and you're a great basketball player, we want you to represent us. We want to sign you to a Nike deal. And then they gave him a contract and he had to read down the rules and regulations and code of conduct of Nike. And he signed that contract to get the $10 million or whatever Nike's paying him. 40 million, 20 million, whatever he's paying him. It's a substantial amount of money. But when you sign the contract to get that money, there are certain rules and regulations that you are agreeing to. So it doesn't matter if he just tweeted out a link. That's the reason why they didn't suspend him immediately. Oh, he tweeted out a link. Maybe he didn't think that was being anti-Semitic because he tweeted the link out. That's why they said, if you apologize and just dim yourself as not anti-Semitic, we'll forget about it. We'll go on. There'll be no suspension. But Kyrie Irving wouldn't do it because, as usual, he wants to prove that he's the smartest in the room. Nobody's smart than him. Remember, he was the one who said the earth was flat. And he was trying to convince everybody to why he's saying that and why he believed that until everybody called him out on it. And then he said, oh, I made a mistake. I don't really believe that. Right? So he has to make everyone know, let everyone know what he believes and why you should believe it. Always have to be the smartest person in the room. But my brother told me, and don't let this go over your head. If you're the smartest person in the room, you in the wrong room. Don't let that go over your head. So if Kyrie Irving would have just apologized for tweeting out that link, right? There'd have been no suspension. Nike wouldn't have suspended their contract, and we would have moved on by now. But because Kyrie Irving has to always prove you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to say, you can't tell me how to act. Kyrie, newsflash. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You know why? Because you signed that contract that said they can. If you wanted to say what you want, do what you want, you shouldn't have signed the contract. And you should have went somewhere and opened up your own business where you can make the rules and regulations. So why should LeBron James, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, why should they be getting dragged? Because they're not supporting Kyrie Irving. I'm going to concentrate on LeBron more than anybody. All right, because for black people to have the nerve to drag LeBron James because he won't support someone who, number one, publicly shitted on him years ago for no reason, publicly shitted on him and created a narrative that, oh, he can't be, I can't play with him. No one can play with him. He's unbearable. Created a narrative because he was upset that he didn't win the MVP in the finals and LeBron won the MVP in the finals. Mind you, the only finals that Kyrie Irving has ever been to and won was with LeBron James. Look at Kyrie Irving's career when he has not had LeBron James. Then when he went to Brooklyn Nets, he once again subliminally publicly tried to shit on LeBron by basically saying he trusts Kevin Durant and he finally has a person who he can trust after winning a ring with LeBron James. He finally has a person he can clutch to he can depend on to make clutch shots in clutch moments. But he won the title with LeBron James. Then all behind the scenes talking about LeBron James. Mind you, let's can we rewind the clock back 6 years ago? Can we rewind the clock back 6 years ago? When Kyrie Irving, the woke, pro-black, afro-wearing Kyrie Irving was on a yacht where there were no black women allowed? Can we go back, what, 6 years ago? When everyone was dragging Kyrie Irving? If you want me to find the article, I can find the article. I'm sure y'all remember. People that's in the social media world, right? So it was just 6 years ago that Kyrie Irving was getting dragged by black women for saying, for being on a boat where there were no black women at all, only white women. And it was said later on by a participant of that boat ride that there were no black women allowed. At least no brown skinned women. If you were mixed, if you were super light skinned, you could come. But Kyrie Irving was on that boat and getting dragged. Now, 6 years later, now he's woke because he went out and got him a high yellow black woman. He went out and got a high yellow black woman. So now he's woke. Kyrie Irving also held his basketball team hostage last year while getting paid. Oh, the NBA was okay for that, right? The NBA was okay to continue to pay him while he wasn't working, right? NBA was okay with that when he refused to get vaccinated and pretty much put his team under the bus. Threw his team under the bus. But the NBA was okay. They kept paying him and he wasn't working. So you like to tell me that players are supposed to get behind get behind Kyrie Irving and put their brand in jeopardy for Kyrie Irving, who has been nothing but a selfish player, has been all about himself ever since he stepped into the league. He's been about himself. But you want other players to jeopardize their brand and how they feed their families to support Kyrie Irving and especially LeBron James after all he's done is shit on LeBron James. Let's go back to LeBron. How dare black people drag LeBron James after what he has endured and went through and stepped on front lines fighting police injustice, fighting police brutality on blacks, fighting social injustice on blacks. Y'all forgot that already? And you're gonna drag him because you know that his name and platform rings bells, so you want him to get behind Kyrie. For what? Are you gonna do that? If somebody on your job that you work right now, how you support your family, you got a good job, and somebody on that job does the same, somebody black does the same thing that Kyrie Irving did, and they want them to um, go to counseling, go to therapy, go have a meeting with this person, have a meeting with that person, and then come back and meet with the owners of the company and explain that you understand everything that you learned to get their job back. Or else you're going to get fired. So you're going to jeopardize your job and say, you know what? This ain't fair. I'm not working. I'm not working. BS. Your family will look at you like you're crazy. So you're not going to be putting food on the table here because of someone else's situation. Black folks always watching somebody's pockets. Oh yeah, quit. Just quit. You got enough money. You want him to quit to make you feel better about yourself because you ain't got the balls to do it. This ain't LeBron James's problem. LeBron James already take bullets for every damn body in the NBA. Every single time it's time for somebody to step up, LeBron James is the first one. Everybody push LeBron out in front like a bulletproof vest. But nobody want to talk about that. Not just for basketball, for all sports. When Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, Woj said, "What you gonna do, LeBron? What are you gonna do about the NBA, LeBron?" Black people, LeBron James should be the last person you drag. When Michael Jordan, they never did a damn thing and step up for social injustice or step up for anything. He ain't stepping up for Kyrie Irving. How come y'all ain't dragging Michael Jordan? How come you ain't dragging Michael Jordan? He ain't stepping up for Kyrie Irving. Why? Because he knows that he's in business with Jewish people. That's why. And you think he's going to jeopardize his brand for Kyrie Irving? Let's go on to this nonsense about he's like a slave, right? He's like a slave. Nick Cannon. And then people are running with this. Let me share the screen. Nick Cannon.
Given the chance to say, "Are you anti-Semitic?" or not, he didn't say, "No, I'm not anti-Semitic." At the press conference, tell us about that movie. Why did he said, "Stop dehumanizing me." And the movie is saying white Jews invented the Holocaust and 6 million Jews didn't get killed. Okay, I know that isn't right.
Right.
There's a gigantic historical record. Jewish people know when you dehumanize us this way, we know what's around the corner.
So in that same statement as those are the tropes that dehumanize Jewish people, the same buck breaking.
What's that? I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest.
The slave masters would bring the buck, the one that gets out of line. So all the other slaves would see lash after lash, show them the power to set an example. This is what you must do to fall in line. So when we see the 6 things that Kyrie must do to get his job back,
Right.
that's dehumanizing.
Now, let me tell you something, Nick Cannon. That was the most ridiculous analogy that I've ever heard. So, because Kyrie Irving has to do 6 things on a list to get his job back, that is the same thing as buck breaking, showing people that you're getting whipped. You're getting whipped so they can fall in line. That's the same thing, Nick Cannon. Is that what you're telling me? So let me ask you a question. What if Kyrie Irving says, I'm not doing it? What will happen to him? Will he get whipped? Nah. He will just go on with the hundreds of millions of dollars that he's already made. Will they go into his bank account and say, you got to give it back? Nah. Will they go take away his mansion? Take away his cars? Nah. Take away everything that he's bought with NBA money? Nah. What if a slave said, I'm not doing it? What would happen to him or her? They would get whipped and hung and killed. So you and anybody else sitting there nodding their stupid, ignorant head saying, yeah, that's true. I kind of agree. You think about that. $37 million. What you want to compare that to Harriet Tubman's salary for being a slave? They didn't get paid a salary. You know what they got? You get a chance to get up and do this tomorrow, nigga. That's what you get a chance to do. You can't quit. You try to escape. They tried to quit. What happened when they tried to quit? They ran after them. They didn't say, okay, you can go off. You can go off and survive on your own. They didn't say that. You know how many slaves would have took that? We would have found a way. We would have found a way. If they would have said, if you can escape, we won't come looking for you. You leave here in the middle of the night, we not gonna come run after you. Find your way back to wherever you need to find your way to. We would have found a way back. But that's not what happens. So how can you compare making $37 million from the NBA and then making another $20 million from Nike? And if you quit, you just quit. How can you compare that to being a slave and to buck breaking? Once again, disrespecting blacks. Nick Cannon and Kanye West has said more disrespectful things to blacks than any damn body. You might as well go out there and call us the N-word with the ER on the end. Because if white people were making those comments, if white people said, oh, slavery was a choice, would y'all still be as understanding and saying, oh, yeah, they kind of got a point? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. How dare you compare what this millionaire is going through? He asked to apologize. You got to apologize. And you have to go to 3 or 4 meetings. That's dehumanizing? And you're comparing it to someone getting lashed in public over and over and over? You say That's the humanizing? Man, get out my face. Everybody is for themselves. Kyrie Irving has been about himself. So if LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, if they're about themselves, why are they getting dragged? Easy to blame LeBron, but nobody says nothing to Michael Jordan. I haven't heard one person drag Michael Jordan yet. Last time I checked, he was black too.